So just a quick, if you're new here and this is the first video that you're clicking on, I'm Georga-Kay and I'm a second year history PhD student at Brown University. And I am now like in my spring semester of my second year, and I'm thinking about comprehensive exams, or field exams as we call them at Brown. I am thinking about my summer and plans and all that fun stuff. So I just wanted to give you guys a quick update. I am doing my labor field this semester, and that is really exciting, but also really nerve-wracking. If you have seen my other videos, you know I have been a little bit anxious about fields prep because it is a intense process. You just read so much, and then I'm also still TAing and also still doing other classwork, so it is like a little bit more reading that I feel like is super sustainable, but it's just for a short period of time. So I'm like reminding myself that. But so far, field reading has been really good. If you haven't seen my Notion video, I have like my entire template and everything of how I'm organizing for fields. And I feel like that's a pretty helpful video, so you should definitely go see it. But I'm working on fields right now. It's been about 2 weeks. I'm reading a few articles and a few books per week, thinking about issues of like capitalism, what is labor, and so I'm hoping to do the exam for that field sometime in May, fingers crossed, because we have the option of Brown to do them sequentially. So I was planning to do fields this semester and then do my major field of US history in the summer, and then do my other minor field of African American intellectual and social history in the fall. Hopefully it works out that way. I do have a little bit of flexibility, but I'm trying to stick to that schedule so that I can have them be their own distinct field. And then towards the end, in next fall, I will have to do my oral exams, and that will be the end of fields and all that has to do with it. And so it's like a year-long process. Now talking about updates for this semester, I am currently TAing. I'm TAing for a class that I'm super excited about. First, when I got placed in the class, I was kind of like, geographically, this is not what I study, but the issues are so relevant to the same themes that I think about, and so it has been a great experience. I start actually teaching sections this week, which is like when it actually really kicks in and starts, and so you really haven't missed anything. But TAing for a class, it seems like a really good vibe so far. I love my TA team. It is just like so far so good, really enjoying it. And things that I'm looking forward to, I'm going to be teaching a mini course in the summer, so I need to be working on that on the side, thinking about that, coming up with my syllabus and all of that stuff. But as we like get to mid-semester, then we're going to be doing that. I'm also HESA president, so we're like working on a few things for that. And so overall, just a busy gal, but all good things. So it is much later now. I'm actually in bed with Harley next to me, but I am working on my section syllabus. I usually like to make a section syllabus for every course that I TA because I find that it is actually helpful, and that as a student, I enjoy having a syllabus, so I always try to do that for my students. And I typically just go over the regular policies for everything, my office hours, when they can expect to get back emails from me. It's really hard to over clarify, especially in a course where people get anxious about grading and all that. It's really nice to have everything spelled out on a specific document. So that's what I try to do. That's the plan for today, is to finish this section syllabus. And I actually have a more chill day today. I'm going to end around like, it's 5 o'clock right now, and I think I'll be done with this in the next 10 minutes, and then I'll just relax for the rest of the night. Good morning. It is Wednesday. I am up bright and early. It is about 10 a.m. It's actually not that early, but I am actually kind of ready today because I have therapy right now. I have virtual therapy Wednesday mornings, so that's what I'm going to do. Last semester I did not have a therapist, and I definitely realized that I was struggling on the struggle bus. I had such bad anxiety, and so this semester, that was one of my fall, winter break goals, was to find a therapist, which I did, and so we've been working together for the past few weeks. And so far, so good. But yeah, I'm gonna sit down right now, get started with therapy, and then afterwards actually start my day, because I honestly have not done anything aside from get ready. It is a few hours later now. I had therapy this morning, did some work, and now I just wanted to pop in here to do a little heart-to-heart. I feel like I sometimes go through my day and I'm vlogging, but I don't really share how I'm feeling, and especially after therapy this morning, I've been reflecting on how I'm feeling, and it has a lot to do with the PhD, so I figured that I might as well share because there might be someone out there who's experiencing similar thoughts, similar feelings. So I haven't really mentioned it that much, but last semester was kind of rough for me, not rough in like anything external, but more so rough in the sense that I was deeply anxious, and I had an anxiety spike that I haven't had since my freshman year of college. And I just felt like, and especially with starting TAing, and I already am an anxious person, but starting TAing and going into a new phase of grad school, thinking about exam prep, it really has changed my relationship with grad school. And I find myself just feeling more like there's heavier stakes to the things that I do, because now I'm like exam prepping. Now I'm having to think about other people's education. And especially, I think, coming in as someone from undergrad, just feeling like, do I know what I'm doing? Am I messing everything up? And I've just been having a lot of feelings of self-doubt, of comparison. And I know that I don't always talk about that, but I wanted to, because I know that it's not just a me thing. And that's even part of the reason why I wanted to start therapy again, because I think it's so incredibly important to take care of your mental health, and that your mental health is so important, especially in this process. And I'm very fortunate that my insurance covers my covers healthcare, and so I'm taking advantage of that. But it's been very real, and I mean, I feel like I'm slowly but surely doing the things and using the tools that's helping me to just feel a lot more confident, to feel a lot more secure. But I've just been so insecure about everything, insecure about my writing, insecure about how I'm showing up in the classroom, just really feeling like, am I doing enough? Am I smart enough to be doing this stuff? And these are real life thoughts, and I think people always encounter them during the PhD. I've literally seen other videos. I've seen like Kaylin, who is one of the other PhD students who vlogs her life on here, and her talk about that feeling, and you just never think it's gonna happen to you, or maybe you do, but for me, I was just so in love with education, in love with what I want to do, and I still do. And I think that's the hard part for me, is like grappling with the fact that like I would not change this for the world. I want to get a PhD. I love my research. I think it's so important, but at the same time, being like, this process is like so mentally taxing. I think there's definitely so many good parts of the PhD program, so many good parts of the PhD process, but it is just a really intense process where you're being asked to do a lot of different things. You're growing, and I feel like growing for me, like I have this sort of, I don't even want to say perfectionism, because I'm okay with not being perfect, but I'm not okay with letting people down. And so I struggle with that so much, and struggling with like people pleasing, deciding where to draw a line. And I think eventually every PhD student has to decide what their boundaries are. I kind of briefly mentioned that in one of the clips. I forgot which one I said it in, but I have been trying to set boundaries for the past few years, and not even because of anyone else, but literally because of myself, because I want to do all the things. I want to, put all my heart into everything, but realizing that I'm just one person and I do have limits, and that overextending myself hurts me, and it also makes me less productive. And so I've been grappling with that, and my therapist and I have been talking about that, and just really being mindful of what I want from this PhD process, not putting too much on my plate, not setting the bar up here and then feeling like I'm the worst person ever if I miss that bar that I set for myself. And so it's just really hard, and I've been thinking about this. I've been stressing and crying about it, just feeling like I'm not doing enough, or I am not good enough. And it's really hard because I am not the type of person, like I work through my feelings internally, and I obviously talk to my boyfriend, I talk to my friends, but I try to work it out in my own head because I don't want to burden other people. And it's really difficult because I sometimes feel like I am perceived by other people as having my shit together. People think that I'm like super secure, or that I'm just like having a great time, because I do want to like let people know. This is a part of the platform that I have, is that I want people to know that it's not impossible, but it does take intentionality about what you want, and it takes intentionality about how to do it in a way that's conducive to your mental health. And that's the part that I want to get across, is like, I never want to put out content that makes people feel like this is something that they can't do, that you have to be the most brilliant person in the world, you always have to have your shit together. I really want people to know, especially Black and brown students, that this is an accessible pathway, but it is not an easy one per se. And I am not of the school of thought that grad school has to be hard and that everyone's gonna have a horrible experience, because that has not been my experience. But I do think there's just ways that you have to navigate it to make it easier for yourself. And I even made a TikTok video about that, like making intentional decisions that will make it easier, because otherwise within itself it's just gonna take as much as you give it. And so coming up with that line for yourself is super, super important. Okay, so Harley and I walked up here. I figured that it's a nice enough day for us to walk. It is a little bit windy. It says it's 40, but it feels like 35. So not as warm as I thought it would be, but Harley had a good time. She is so energetic right now because she's been cooped up because it's been cold in Providence. So I'm happy that I was able to take her out today, but I had to head back kind of soon because I have a meeting in like an hour and a half, and I want to make sure I have enough time to get ready for that.